As the rain fell gently in the big city, little Sofia was walking on the streets with her handmade bracelets in her hands. The raindrops were wetting her hair and face. She was wearing a worn-out coat and an old pair of shoes that did not fit under it. Nothing had given her a chance. She was alone in the cruel streets of life, in a world where everyone was walking in a hurry and no one had time to even look at each other. Sofia felt lost not only because she was a child, but also because she encountered unexpected difficulties in her life. Once upon a time, she was a happy girl studying at the school of her dreams, wearing her mother's beautiful dresses. But things had changed. Her family had lost their home in a work accident, and Sofia and her mother were now forced to live on the streets. Every time Sofia looked at the sad expressions on her mother's face, she was disappointed. But she had never lost one thing: her hope. The handmade bracelets were her only ray of hope. These bracelets offered her an opportunity to bring back her lost joy. Maybe one day someone would help her, and maybe one day everything would be okay. But at that moment, she was getting more and more desperate with each passing minute. She made so much effort under the rain, but no one looked at her. She brought the bracelets to people a few more times, but no one cared. The streets were a place where hundreds of people passed by each, but no one cared about each other even as much as trash. Only Sofia knew how valuable the colorful threads wrapping the bracelets in her hands were. Each bracelet was not only a design, but also a fight she fought for survival, but no one looked at her. One day, as she was walking under the rain as usual, something came to her mind. Maybe someone will notice me today, she thought. But no one cared. Everyone was walking in their expensive clothes, looking at their phones. For a moment, Sofia thought that everything would never change, but at that moment, something unexpected happened. The sound of a car drowned out the sound of the rain. Sofia raised her head and slowly opened her eyes. At that moment, a luxurious black car slowly passed by. The car stopped and the door opened. Sofia's eyes widened. The man who got out of the car came wearing a dazzling suit and accompanied by a few guards. Sofia couldn't say anything properly for a moment because of the shock she was experiencing. It was Donald Trump. Yes, the famous businessman and former president had decided to see this little girl even in the busiest tempo of his life. Trump looked at her for a few seconds and came to Sofia and took out a few dollars from his pocket and said, "Your bracelets are beautiful. If you want, I can help you." Sofia's eyes widened. She thought nothing was right. How could this be possible? How could a famous man, a person who knows the city he lives in from beginning to end, who is at the center of everything, help her, a child who only made a few bracelets? At that moment, she thought everything she had experienced was a dream. But no, this was real. Trump took out his jacket pocket and gave all of his money to Sofia at that moment. "I'm buying all the bracelets. I just want to make a difference in your life by buying these," he said. As these sentences sunk into Sofia's heart, a slight smile appeared on her face, unexpectedly. Trump took out more money from his pocket and said, "I'm not buying these just for a bracelet, but also because I can see you." Sofia looked at him in surprise. She was so impressed that she didn't know what to say. She only said a few words. "Thank you, I really do." Trump smiled and said, "We always need to help," and slowly walked away. But Sofia felt like she had won not only against herself, but also against life. The rain felt like it was falling less heavily. The streets around her suddenly looked very different. As Sofia ran to her mother with the money she had received, she thought about the biggest chance of her life. The bracelets, which had once seemed like a symbol of hope, had now become a door that would change her life. Trump's gesture had given her not only financial support, but also the power to dream. At that moment, she understood how big a little girl could dream and how everything could change in an instant. A bracelet had given her the power to stand tall against all the difficulties in life. And at that moment, Sofia learned that the most important thing in life was hope, and that despite everything, you shouldn't lose your dreams.